Developers are meant to be paired with an oxidative hair color. Remember, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Oxidative means it needs a developer. Non-oxidative means no developer. Non-oxidative colors are temporary, semi-permanent. So our oxidative colors that need a developer are permanent and demi-permanent. An example of permanent color mostly found in a tube like this. Demi-permanents like this are most commonly in liquid form. These hair colors, permanent and demi-permanent, do not work without their developer or oxidizing agent. If you just put these on the hair, they're not going to do anything. Developer on its own will do something to the hair. It can lift natural or virgin hair about a level, but it's not recommended to do that because it makes the hair really dry and brittle. It just snaps and breaks. Developers can be in cream form like this. It's a thicker, creamy consistency, and they can also be in a liquid form like this. And it looks and feels just like water. And the pH is between 2.5 and 4.5. The pH of hair is 4.5 to 5.5. 7, water is in the middle, neutral, for the most part. In general, I'm referring to the 10, 20, 30, and 40, your standard developers that look like this. Cream and clear developers do the same thing. Comes in 10, 20, 30, 40. If you want to get crazy, 50 and 60. Obviously, the clear developer is going to make the consistency a lot more liquidy. Words are hard. So you could use clear developer when you want to use the bottle for the application method. Cream developer makes the hair color formula thicker, so it's going to be for the bowl and brush application when you're actually brushing on hair color, highlights, foils, whatever you're doing. So they're doing the same thing. The only difference is the consistency, and the cream developer does offer just a slight more protection to the hair, but it's not a huge drastic amount. You can add Olaplex to your formula if that's something you're worried about. Some companies are going to have their own specific developer for that hair color line. For example, if you're using Redken Shades EQ, you're not pairing it with a typical developer. Its catalyst or developer is going to be the Shades EQ processing solution. And you just kind of have to read the hair color line. Now, obviously, they want you to stay within companies. What I mean by that is Pravana recommends you use their developer with their hair color. This tube of permanent hair color will work with this Sally's developer. There's not much of a difference. However, it's recommended to get the best results to always stick to that company. So Pravana hair color goes with Pravana developer. Paul Mitchell hair color goes with Paul Mitchell developer. But if you're in a scram and all you have is that, it's gonna be okay. But again, with Shades EQ, you need to use that processing solution. So when we're talking about 10, 20, 30, and 40 volume, sometimes 50, sometimes 60, volume is just measuring the concentration of hydrogen peroxide. So we have the standard list, 10, 20, 30, and 40. The volume is saying 10 volume has 3% hydrogen peroxide, 20 is 6%, 30 is 9, and 40 volume is 12%. You're going by threes, 3, 6, 9, 12. The lower the volume, the less amount of lift. The higher the volume, 40 volume, you're achieving maximum lift. To demonstrate how developer works, these are cups of water, 10, 20, 30, that's gonna be the 40 volume. We're gonna take Alka-Seltzers, what? Or Kroger antacids, and drop them in so you can see the reaction. So there's 4 in the 40, 3, 2, 1. So this will kind of demonstrate how hydrogen peroxide works when you mix it with hair color or bleach. So the 40 is going to work faster, it's stronger, versus the 10 that is not really going to do much. This is going to lift 1 level, this will lift 4. So like you see in the cups, the 10 volume is the weakest. 40 volume is going to create the most chemical reaction and be the strongest. Strongest, but not the safest. On 627, there's a chart, and it's actually a really good chart that will show you bullet points of the developers. 10 volume is your weakest developer. Remember, it's 3% hydrogen peroxide. You'll use this for deposit-only hair color. So if you have a level 5 hair and you want to take it to a level 4, and there's no gray in the hair, you're going to use 4, whatever tonality, 4N, with 10 volume developer. You're depositing or going darker hair color. When you use it with lightener or bleach, it's going to do a gentle lightening. So a general guide with developer when you're lightening hair is 10 volume gives you 1 level of lift, 20 volume gives you 2, 30 volume gives you 3, and 40 volume gives you 4 levels of lift. That's a pretty loose guide because 10 volume can lift 2 levels, especially if you leave it on longer apply heat. There's a lot of different factors to consider. So this is a loose guide at best. 20 volume, 2 levels of lift when you're pairing it with lightener or bleach. For color, this is going to be for gray coverage. So if your client has gray in their hair, you're going to use 20 volume developer. This helps open up the hair cuticle and soften it a bit because gray hair is really wiry, resistant, and it allows it to go inside and deposit the hair color. 30 volume, 3 levels of lift. 30 volume with hair color is going to be more for your high lift colors, colors that will lift hair and deposit a tone at the same time, and for lightener or bleach. But you want to be careful when you're using the 30 and 40 volume for lightener because it can cause a lot of damage. Me personally, I try to always just use 20. It takes a little bit longer, but it saves the integrity of the hair. Remember the cups, the 30 volume and 40 volume is super strong, but you have to remember when you do things fast, sometimes the result isn't as good. You're gonna get a lot of breakage, brittleness. It's better to just slow down, take your time. 40 volume, 4 levels of lift. Again, these are paired with high lift colors. You can use these with lighteners. Not really recommended, just like 50 and 60. That's getting to dangerously high levels where it's gonna do a lot of damage to your hair, where it may not be worth the exchange. Because remember, when you're bleaching, sometimes you can't get that final result that day. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 visits for you to be able to get to that end goal. You want that bright, bright blonde. Well, that may not happen today, especially if your hair is black. We're applying hair color. We're not magicians. It's gonna take time. So just letting people know up front, this cannot be done today. It's also going to be an investment. Because again, it's better to do it the right way than just do it in one appointment because they want to.